What's good, World Republic? Welcome back to another video. Editor Sly here. Glad you could make it. Before we start, please join the Discord community, link down below for me. When you click the link, the invite should appear as shown. Click accept invite for direct access to yours truly, your fellow community, as well as being notified every time we go live. You'll also be able to view all VODs from the Discord server, as well as any YouTube videos, and be notified when I post here on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, around 99% of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel. Make sure you fix that by hitting the subscribe button and turning on all notifications. If you do that, I can find the content for you and we can watch it together. Shout out to all my current subscribers as well as current subs on Twitch. We call y'all citizens, you feel me? And yeah, enjoy the video. What's good, YouTube? Back with one of our favorite creators to react to. We got GMF on the problem with super speed. Very I don't want to say played out, but very like well talked about, very well known topic, the inconsistencies of super speed, especially when we're not talking comics. Glad to see he is indeed like taking his cinematic and authentic YouTube creating style and applying that to other things besides Ben 10. I'm sure it is he's gonna talk about Ben 10. I think maybe, yeah, Ben 10's here in the caption. So without further, Discord com, link in the description. You'll be notified every time I post a YouTube video, every time I go live on Twitch. Right there in the description, like click that, like right now, like right there. Let's get straight into it.
My name is Barry Allen, and I'm the fastest man alive.
Shut the hell up, man, because these powers are a lot more of a problem than what you're letting on. Let me explain. Firstly, using Accelerate as an example. In the episode on Naturals, we get...
See, I think this is tough too, because he talks about Ben 10. So when he starts talking about Ben 10, I know this is going to be facts, and he's going to correlate it to super speed as a whole. The same way he did with like the problem with elemental powers. In terms of predicts, let's go inconsistency. Let's go the other powers you need to use super speed, unless you're getting the like you're given the bells and whistles. If not, you know, if you're like A-Train. And that's my top two. Talk to me.
To see one of the best moments for the alien Accelerate, where his full speed gets put on display. Now, the premise of the episode is that Ben's Little League school baseball team is playing against some Terminator robots with AI that's about 100 years ahead of ChatGPT. They play the game literally perfectly, with scores that would dominate 10 Babe Ruths with ease. And the problem arises during the baseball game as Ben turns into Accelerate to make the game state even. Now, he goes at breakneck speeds that are basically invisible to the human and robot eye, as no one seems to notice him at all. But from Ben's perspective, it all seems like time has completely halted, which is absolutely insane for Accelerate speed perception. However, on the other end of this is where Ben takes on the Calamari Conqueror for the first time. In this episode's secrets, the watch is malfunctioning to a degree that gives Ben the ability to transform into multiple different aliens during this battle, with a key alien being Accelerate. The first thing that Ben does in this fight is to attempt his own version of the Infinite Mass Punch, which is probably the most overpowered speedster move in all of fiction. We saw the Flash do it in that one.
Especially because if you as a speedster can handle the durabilities of running at your speed, you naturally are so durable that you are invulnerable. We watched a video about like from the guy, bro. It was Batman talking about it to Lex about how OP like super speed is and how like the Flash could pretty much release atomic bombs of force. Not to mention like his durability. There was so much that was talked about.
Episode in Justice League, but Ben ends up failing. He starts to go on the defensive against Vilgax though, dodging and weaving as Vilgax starts to hurl punches at him. This is to be expected, and so far it's kept his...
To me, the best thing here is like when weaving like that, you gotta like throw like a slight shove to like all the, because he's throwing haymakers just to throw them off balance, just to throw. I think that's underrated usage of like combat. And it's really only seen in like shows where combat, like martial arts, is like highlighted, and it's like, this is a good fighter, and that's how they throw it in your face. Like, oh, I've not only read your movements, I'm gonna alter them to make you make openings for me, type situation.
Speed and perception relatively consistent. However, when Ben goes for a counterattack is where that all goes through the window.
Out the window.
As Vilgax somehow manages to catch him. You pretty much know how that will end.
That's inconsistency of doom, because it's not that oh, he could react and like try to catch him. It's the fact that he only could catch him during this counterattack, right? Which implies that he could only catch him when Ben threw himself towards him. And if that's the case, he could have easily just redirected his joint as he saw him like reacting.
Now Vilgax catching Ben here makes no sense for multiple reasons. With the first one being, if you are fast enough to stop time like Ben is, he should be able to strike Vilgax long before he could raise those long ass tentacles at him. It only makes sense, so even if Vilgax's reaction does seem to catch Ben off guard, he should still be able to speed blitz him, so why not just pull back your hand? Ben getting caught in this is absolutely ridiculous. However, the Flash shows us a new problem that is so often ignored when characters go super speed. In the early parts of the Flash TV show, when Barry had just got his powers, we encountered a multitude of problems that came with super speed. But let's talk about a few of the benefits first though. He had speed perception, and he had the ability to go faster than the eye can see, as we had multiple scenes in the first season where he did literally impossible things, like scaling entire skyscrapers in seconds, seeing lightning in slow motion and escaping it at point blank range, and at the end of the season,
that was in a video we were literally just talking, like we literally just watched,
we had him going as far as to run on tornadoes when the dimensional rift was opening. He was very fast, but he still had challenges with
that's the Ty video I'm thinking about. They said he was like Mach 1, but he was doing such crazier things, like stopping that singularity with speed alone in season 1.
Villains that were faster than him as the show went along. But it all gets halted by moments like this. Fight back! Fight back! This guy is somehow able to put lightning on pause,
but it's unable to, like, mind you, that's just like semi-automatic gun firing at him from multiple different angles, but couldn't like dodge the punches and stuff.
He's able to use debris to make stairs in the air, but he can't handle 5 guys.
Hey, whatever you're into. I mean, you're into that. That's cool. I mean, that's cool. No judgment. I mean, that's fun.
Barry does go to further on emphasize this major problem with super speed perception and how inconsistent it is for the sake of the plot. But another problem arises from the Flash TV show, which is friction. Now, anything that is hitting certain speeds will encounter issues with friction, which in their case is mostly caused by the resistance.
So I never got, bro, because I swear they said like his suit was frictionless, but like under that concept, it should be slipping and sliding
of the air. This kind of thing is very problematic for things like space shuttles re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, as you know, they would obviously burn up. And it was a problem for early CW Flash episodes, who once he is running at these incredible speeds would have his clothes burn up, or even people who he's carrying would have a similar thing happen to them as well, because of friction in the air. This officially gets solved when he gets happen to them as well.
Jacket. That was her shirt.
Because
I don't remember that scene at all.
This officially gets solved when he gets his Flash suit for the first time that is resistant to friction. However, he gets faster and faster each season, and none of these people he rescues in the Flash has on a suit, so everyone should be burning up or turning into a puddle of rich red tomato paste. But I guess this is probably a little bit more dicey because many shows just avoid this problem altogether with one secret thing. Let me go to the conch shell to let you know what it is.
Speaks for like stopping them?
Nothing.
Yep, most shows don't get that fully accurate depiction of the ramifications of super speed. A good example is Quicksilver, who in my opinion has the best super speed scenes to date, with Days of Future Past really setting the pace for a generation. However, I think a more exaggerated...
Yeah, they're more visually appealing. I do think like the Speed Mirage stuff from Wells, crazy.
It's scene from X-Men Apocalypse gives us more friction. Hey.
Yeah?
Oh, brother!
In this one, the X-Mansion is exploding and Quicksilver hops in to perform the greatest split-second rescue mission of all time, with music on, of course. He's able to make this crazy detonation look nearly motionless, as he gets everyone and everything out of the line of fire, while the entire building erupts into flames. However, the friction of the air doesn't just disappear. Everyone he touches in this scene should be dead. You're dead, you're dead, you're dead, and you're dead. We should have a body count rather than glorifying his mass murder. The opposite effect goes for interacting with other objects as well when you're at high speeds. Things like rain or water, for example. Take for example Quicksilver's fight here in this very wet kitchen in the Pentagon in Days of Future Past. He blitzes around the room before anyone can blink. However, these water droplets interacting with his body at these speeds should be turning him into Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese that boy when the rain drop. I think not even that. At that speed, the water should not be able to touch him because of the amount of air that would be around his body. Unless you want to go the route that there's no wind, but like we saw his hair just blow back another scene, and like they're doing the splash and stuff. So like those effects still apply. So if that's the case, it should never touch him. Now it looks like it's touching him, but there's such a layer of like air around him, no matter how thin it is, that like because of how fast he's moving, it immediately like ruptures whatever it is. It makes it so it's unable to reach him.
This is because of how water is incompressible and resists displacement. So the faster you approach it, the more solid it gets. Sort of. It's the best and simplest way I could put it. So him nearly teleporting through this room with the sprinklers on should have had him grated into a big pile of silver potatoes. Now this isn't just a theoretical example. I have a pretty good.
He said that's not Silver Surfer. That's Silver Potato. That's Silver Squash. Yeah. That Silver got squash. And that Silver got Swissed.
Example to show you, and it comes from the anime Darker Than Black, with a fight between Flash, April, and Hay. Now, the two main characters that we'll be following for this fight scene are April and the Flash. April has the ability to control the weather in a way where she can create a localized hurricane, and the Flash obviously has super speed, which makes him fast enough to dodge bullets. During the fight, April buys time for her own power.
It reminds me of that one guy, bro. What was the name of that anime, bro? But the main character has white hair. He has speed abilities as well, and he undergone experiments to get these abilities. Plunderer.
Activation, which causes a mini rain shower in her vicinity. When the Flash realizes that his entire surroundings are completely covered with rain droplets, it's pretty much GG's, because it would be literally impossible for him to slow down again, and the droplets of water end up killing him, piercing him like 1,000 metallic needles falling from the sky. And it's all because of that incompressible thing with water. However, this leads me to another important problem with super speed, and that is why Quicksilver survived water hitting him, and the Flash from Darker Than Black didn't. That is why,
if you look at it, it isn't touching him, it's bouncing off of him.
However, this leads me to another important problem with super speed, and that is why
like his face is all squishy and you can see it bounce off his face.
Him, and the Flash from Darker Than Black didn't. And that's because you require extra powers to be able to interact with the environment once you have super speed. In order to not get completely destroyed in the rain, you need to have advanced durability. And in order to not burn up when you're edging light speed, you need friction resistance or immunity so that you don't, you know. So super speed and speed perception are all fine and dandy power sets. However, in media, they are depicted so inconsistently it actually hurts. Now you mean to tell me your perception
super durability needed to again do some of these things, like hit things at that speed without shattering your entire bone system.
Makes this droplet of water feel like it's been 2 days, yet I can just jump you with
5 guys?
Yeah.
What?
Wait.
And you're helpless. Plus, being a speedster requires you to have that additional DLC. So you need to have that friction immunity and super enhanced durability. But hey, that's just a Galvan's thoughts and what's wrong with super speed. Thanks for watching.
Oh my goodness, I went 2 for 2. We talked about both of them. Shout out to Grey Matter, man. Shout out to my dog GMF, man. It was a comp video. You know what I'm saying? W predicts. What were y'all's predictions? Let me know down in the comments down below. And as always, you know it's time to find me next.